Hello again. Good to have your company this Boxing Day, a time many West Australians cherish and for some a time to help those in desperate need. One devoted team of WA medicos travelled to the other side of the world to help children who can't help themselves. Blake Johnson joined them on their life-changing mission to Tanzania.
Oh, yelele.
Once you've been over here once, it's hard to not come back once you know what's here.
What's the hard part?
The long days.
We wipe the smiles off their face, but then when the pain's better, hopefully they'll be smiling again.
A long way from home in remote Africa, these West Australians are changing lives. Perth surgeons putting smiles on little faces. In East Africa, Tanzania is one of the world's most stunning countries, rich in natural beauty but very poor. In need of medical help, these WA volunteers have answered their call.
It's sad enough for parents when their children come home and say some kid didn't want to play with them in the playground, but imagine if kids like this come home every day and tell their parents that. That would be tough.
Emmanuel Jackson, a farmer who's 22, was born with a cleft lip.
They normally laugh at him.
Who?
People.
Yeah? In the town?
They are the neighbours.
Emmanuel has struggled to look at his own face in the mirror. Today, the surgery he's waited his whole life. Here at Secuture Hospital, surgeons Bridget Corrigan and James Savundra will operate on dozens of patients in a 2-week surgery blitz. The ward is a few mattresses on the floor, no aircon, little sanitation. The operating room isn't much better.
It's pretty satisfying to come and, see all these kids and patients that otherwise probably wouldn't get treated and who are generally very grateful for what we do.
Burns, skin grafts, as well as cleft lips and palates are treated and in most cases fixed, giving hundreds of men, women and children a shot at a better life. Twice a year, the surgeons, nurses, anaesthetists and physios from Perth travel to the city of Mwanza in northern Tanzania. The mobile medical clinic will travel across the globe.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you.
At Doha, they board another flight to Dar es Salaam and then a third plane to Mwanza, 20 hours in total. Then there's the medical supplies. Qatar Airways allows them to bring hundreds of extra kilos of equipment. Population 700,000, Mwanza sits on the southern end of Lake Victoria, the second largest lake in the world. Mwanza's poverty mixes with stunning geographical beauty, but this is no sightseeing trip for these medicos. They call it the Rafiki surgical mission. Rafiki is Swahili for friend. Over 2 weeks, this team of Aussie angels will work 12-hour days, operate on 81 patients who'll drive for hours to get here. Babies. Children. Adults.
If you've got a deformity that doesn't really lead to death, then it's not a high priority in their health system, which is reasonable. And they've got a limited amount of dollars to spend on their health care. So we can come here and, spend an hour or two on a patient and make a big difference to that individual patient.
Most of the operations for the Rafiki missions will improve the patient's appearance, but it's far from a beauty contest for these locals. It's almost time for Emmanuel Jackson's surgery.
You excited?
Yeah, he's
Nervous about the operation?
unaogopa kufanyia operation. He's not.
Just want to get in there.
Yeah.
Patient after patient is brought in. Emmanuel is towards the end of the day. It's just gone 7 p.m, day 4 of the Rafiki surgical missions. 11 hours at the hospital today means 29 people have already been operated on this week. Another 4 days of surgery remain. It's tough in here. There's no time for lunch breaks, and some of the burns operations have lasted 7 hours. 90 minutes later, Emmanuel is out of surgery. His reaction to his new face, I'll never forget. 2 days on,
He'll be a bit sore today, so he won't feel the best.
Emmanuel's face has been transformed. When the swelling goes down, his smile will be close to perfect. John Anthony's father sits quietly with his son as he waits his turn to get his cleft lip fixed.
John, even if the dad want to register him in school, he refused because kids are laughing at him.
Moments after surgery, you don't need a translator for Dad's reaction. John Anthony is just one of almost 1,200 cases over Rafiki's lifetime. This is the 11th year of the Rafiki surgical missions from Perth to Tanzania. It started from an idea by an Australian doctor, Rob Barber, who was living here in Tanzania at the time. He recognised the need for reconstructive surgery and mentioned his idea to a doctor mate back home in Perth. Soon, it was more than just an idea. They got a group together and fundraised. They made $55,000 that first year. Since then, more than $1 million has been raised for the Rafiki surgical missions. Perth lawyer Didier Mercier is now the driving force behind the Rafiki missions. And there are about 200 volunteers who have given up their time to go.
The President of Tanzania has recognised the efforts of Rafiki. It's been mentioned at government levels between Australia and Tanzania, and it's something that we're very, very proud of. We managed to punch way above our weight division.
Husband and wife Tucker and Andrew Wild, on the right, have 25 Tanzania missions between them.
It is a long day, and particularly when it's 4 long days in a row after flying from Australia and not having any time off at all. You certainly get pretty tired at the start, but you get into the swing of it, and I think we're all feeling pretty good at the moment.
It's hard, rewarding work at the hospital. It can be distressing too. Children here live in villages where there's often no electricity or running water. The danger? Open fires. The team here has seen horrific burns.
You just don't see them in Australia. It just doesn't happen. And the healthcare system in Australia wouldn't let it happen either.
But it's the smiles these Australians remember most, and those smiles keep them coming back.
Just to see some of the adults coming back and the stories that they've managed to get married and accepted within the community. But catching them when they're this age, you're making a difference really for the future.
Blake Johnston in Tanzania there, and thanks to Julia Logan for her great pictures. There's more on our website.